guys. So, I'm gonna have to change batteries halfway through, but you know I always do these videos in a million segments because of how, I edit. But, I'm doing a melt video today. So, I'm gonna try to get through this aluminum, and I'm gonna try to maybe do brass. I got all that brass there. I'm gonna burn all this stuff, I think, or as much as I can. The rest is going in the garbage. Went and got some nifty new ingot molds. I'm gonna work on a couple sand molds too. I brought out my styrofoam collection. So enjoy the show. This is all experimental, like always. So, like always, I'm having a slightly difficult time getting it going without having a 6-foot flame. So I'm gonna fiddle with it for a little bit, and I'll get back to you. All right. Hey guys. So I'm having difficulties like usual. So I got a bunch of stainless steel coffee cups, and they're supposed to be okay crucibles, is what I've been told. And for some reason, they're double lined, so they're collapsing upon themselves and then breaking. So I went through 2 crucibles already, and I have a bunch of aluminum in the bottom of my thingy, my foundry. So that's some interesting problems. I don't know how that happened, but it'll be all right. I'll keep at it. You guys will get a pour today, even if it means I gotta break my brand new $20 graphite crucible, which I really don't want to do, but it should be all right for aluminum. I might lay off the brass until I get something else to use. I'm gonna set me up a couple of molds, I think, while this heats back up, and see what I can do. At least this is liquidating a bunch of trash like the old lady wanted. So, grandma. So, yep, I'll be back. Alright guys, so I can get in the, my batteries died, so I had to get new batteries, so hopefully the metal's still nice and pretty like. But, all I can get in the shot is the sand mold. So, I do have some ingot trays laid out, but you ain't gonna be able to see me pour those because I can't do 2 things at once. Invest in a cameraman. And I'm just kidding. Like I have the money for a cameraman. But I'm gonna do this pour. I'm gonna pull my graphite crucible out with vice grips, so wish me luck. Hopefully I don't crack it or break it. Because, well, it's the last crucible I got that's usable. And I'm trying to get all this stuff melted today. Make some space. Yum. So I decided to double grip it. Almost dropped it. So can anyone tell me what I did wrong here? I'll give you a hint. I'm using plastic as a flask. That's problem 1. But alright guys, time to melt some more. I'll be back. Alright guys, now I'm gonna do some ingots. The most of the styrofoam molds didn't come out. I melted down the excess and I kept the rough cast of what there was to show it off, but they're really bad. So I gotta figure out another method. But here comes the second pour. This is gonna be ingots. I hope I have enough room because it seems like there's a lot more metal than ingot space, but we're gonna find out. Yum. Oh, that's a really awkward angle. So there was actually plenty of room. Now, I'll show you my crucible later on, but it's starting to drizzle out, so I'm hoping to finish this up before it rains. But, the part where the air blows in on the crucible is getting, I think it's called emulsified. That's probably not the word. That's when vinegar and oil mix. There's another word for it. It's starting to get that way. But alright, let me get back to you. Hopefully I get one more pour before it starts pouring down rain and have to work on brass the next time. Hey guys, so you missed the previous pour. My brother dropped by, had a sandwich, talked for a little bit. So I had to pour real quick and come in and have a little chit chat. So kind of didn't get to see the last pour, but it wasn't all that exciting anyway. I missed a little bit, but I have that, and I poured that. Now this is cold to the touch. I mean, it's still warm, but it's cold enough that I can pick it up. But I can't get it out of here. Like, I didn't know aluminum brazed to steel. Like, I knew brass would, but I had no idea aluminum would get so stuck in there. Like, especially considering this is meant for things to pop out of it, like candies and fudge and muffins or whatever. So I don't know why. I don't know if I'm wrong and aluminum does braze the things. It's possible, but it's all right. I mean, if I destroy one, it's all right. I just don't want to destroy them all. I got them for 30, 40 cents a piece, so it's not a huge problem. Now, I want to show off my styrofoam casting things, because this should be cold enough for me to touch it too. And I was right. Now this actually turned out pretty good compared to everything else, but I put sprues and vents on it. This is possibly going to be the fidget spinner, if I can get everything together. You can see I put sprues and vents and took my time carving it out. It has a couple hiccups, but I mean, that doesn't look half bad considering it's my first lost foam casting ever. I still don't know why they call it that, besides the fact that you lose the foam. And then I got an ingot, which didn't turn out that great either, but it's still a little warm to the touch. So I got this little morsel. That was just an off thing that just happened. I like it, so I kept it. A coin I tried to make failed miserably. and a turtle I carved out of foam with the yin-yang symbol on the back, which also the shell came out great, but the last flipper didn't come out so good. It's a gimp. I got a gimp turtle. But, I mean, overall, for the first time doing it, it's not half bad. Now, I got a couple of foam things I carved left that I might give it a shot, but I gotta find wooden flasks because I'm gonna throw those away. I'm losing sand, and that's something I don't have a lot of, and I know sand is free, but it's... I don't know where to get it, so... Not around here, not without digging a big hole in the yard or something. And, you know, sifting it out. But that's where I got so far. I'm keeping all the dross aside. I'm going to put it in a little container, and maybe I'll remelt it someday. I might throw it away. Maybe I'll give it to Wayne to scrap. I think I'm going to give him all that, too, and those couple of pieces over there. I think I'm done with aluminum for today. I still might shoot a second video. I was going to do it all one, but I might shoot a second video and do this brass. Because it's taking up some space, and if I melt all of it down, I'll probably fill those 4 ingot molds. And that would probably be that, instead of having, you know, 2.5 buckets of brass. And I found out that crucible, like, it felt like stainless steel. It weighed out like stainless steel, but it's actually pewter, which is bad because I tried to melt aluminum in it, but it's good because then I'll have more pewter to make bronze, because I want to make a bronze bell someday. Like my soon-to-be friend SW Dweeb, who did a bell, and I was really impressed by it. Now, I know I don't have nearly the equipment to do such a thing, but... well, there's a will, there's a way, I suppose. What else am I going to do with all my free time? But, alright. Thanks for watching, guys. Maybe I'll have another video or something later on, but this pretty much does it for this one. I'm sorry it couldn't be more exciting. Make you feel any better, I lost all my hair off my right arm. Like, it is gone. Well, it's not gone, but if you could see the definition on camera, it'd be a whole other story. But alright, guys, thanks for watching, and I will, you know, have this video up, and it was a nice change of pace from cleaning, which I might do some cleaning today anyway. I mean, look at all this trash. This is stuff I got from the attic, from the pantry, from all kinds of places. This is just, and our household trash, but got tons of garbage. Anyways, like I said, I know I'm rambling and tangenting, but I'll catch you guys later, and have a great day. Hey guys, so as always, I do a little like recap. Tonight's the night after well, it's the same day, but it's nighttime of this melt, and I wanted to kind of show what happened. So my ingot molds, like I said, I was completely oblivious to the fact that aluminum can braze itself to steel. Like, I know you can do it with brass, I think copper, but I didn't know aluminum can get stuck to steel. So, yeah, that's in there. Now, the other ones, let's see if I can get a, see. The other ones are alright, but a couple of the thingies popped out, and it got stuck to that. This is the only one that came clean. But, this one, I literally cannot get out. I'm going to work on that someday, before the next pour. Here are the little, pieces. Trash now. But at least it wasn't so bad. My foundry's seen better days, too. After 3 crucible fells in one day. And for some reason, I think it was hotter than it... Like, I don't know why it's been getting so hot. Like, I even left it on low. Like, the air dryer on low. Maybe I need something that has more settings than just low and high. Now, here's the aluminum I got left. to melt. It's probably about, all of it together might be another crucible's worth. If you can't really see inside there because the way the lighting is, but it's falling apart pretty good. So I'm thinking like it might be the excessive heat. I don't really know. There were 2 cats outside in the rain, and they are freaking out, man. Someone is dying tonight. Those cats must be, like, super territorial. But anyways, yeah, so my foundry's taking a beating. I don't know. It should be alright for a while. I mean, the outside still didn't get that hot. Like, I wouldn't leave my hand on it for too long, but it still wasn't getting that hot, so it wasn't losing a lot of heat. Now, this guy, my crucible, it's got all that, I don't know what it's called, like this, I'm gonna look up the word, but it's turning glassy already, and I only used it like once. So I'm kind of worried about that, but at least it didn't crack. And it's still pretty thick. The only thing I gotta worry about is trying to get the junk out of the bottom. And there's that problem. But we'll see how that works out. I'm not too concerned about it, because if I must, I'll melt a piece of copper in there that I think is about the right weight requirement to make aluminum bronze with what's left of the aluminum, and pour it all out that way. My aluminum collection is getting pretty intense. I got another one of these big guys. Melted it. So I got 3 of those. That one's a little bit smaller than the rest. It's one of my foam castings. It was just supposed to be a cone, but I only got half the cone, and it sunk into the middle, and it wasn't like shrinkage. It's literally like a piece of sand fell into it. So, because it's pretty deep in one spot. But most of that's going to be used for alloying anyway. Then I got a bunch of these guys, which I can cut apart and use them for alloying. Like, this is what they look like. Singular. If I got one out singularized. So I made them this size because, you know, I can stack like 4 or 5 of these to get the weight I need to make aluminum bronze when I need to, instead of having all the bigger ones like this guy, because this is like 3 or 4 of those little guys. So I got about 24 of these, I think, if I can get those other 6 out. I'm trying to do it without destroying all my molds, which is not the easiest thing in the world. My turtle, it needs some work. I'll probably just use it for alloying someday, but until that day comes, I'm kind of proud of the little guy. My first maker's coin idea, there was an H in the center. It's pretty bad, but for my first time, it's not, it could be worse. I'm keeping my fidget spinner a secret for now. It's the only one that came out halfway decent, so I gotta find like sandpaper and all that nonsense and get it nice and cleaned up. I got some sandpaper, but I got more coming in the mail. It's a higher grit, because right now I got like 1800 grit sandpaper, and I want to start out with like 100 or something, like a much smaller number, much less grits per inch, so it can hog off more material. Now I got 1 stainless steel crucible left, and with the way those other ones like malformed, I don't know if it's worth it. Like, I'm gonna try to use it, but like my foundry, when I go to see if I can clean that out at all, there's probably a 1/4 pound of aluminum in the bottom of it from the crucible felling. And the only thing that was disappointing today is I didn't get to the brass, but between the crucible failures, the ingot mold failures, the foam casting failures and the rain, I kind of like, because it's still pouring down rain, I kind of got a little, stalled. Stalled's a word. But in light of other news that I got a bag of black rocks, and I was hoping they were coal, because there's only two kinds of coal lookalikes that I know of. Turns out it is coal. It's the hard anthracite. So now I have an entire box of coal and an entire bag of lump charcoal. So between using a little bit of wood, a little lump charcoal, and anthracite, I can get a good fire going. But now I need to figure out a method of keeping the air circulated all around, but in a smaller quantity, because I don't want to completely fry this crucible in like 3 melts. Like, I was melting aluminum at copper melting temperature, and that's great. It works a lot faster, but I want to be able to regulate that, because I'll burn less fuel, I'll damage my crucible less, and I can effectively melt more. Now, I know probably going the propane torch idea would be the best bet, but I can get coal. I can find coal places, but propane's a little bit more difficult, and the pieces I need to make the propane burner and chance of explosions are all a concern, and money, because I gotta buy propane. It's all a concern, but it might be something worth doing. Like, if I'm melting aluminum, use the propane. And if I'm melting copper, I could use the coal, because I know the coal will get hot enough and pretty significantly quickly. Yeah. Sorry, long day. But alright, I'm going to get to editing and see if I can get this video up here soon. Because, I mean, today was like every other day that I do this, a massive failure, but it was the closest thing to a success, if that makes sense. Like, the fidget spinner turned out. I don't care what anyone says. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be like all those other guys you see that do this all the time, but it looks really good compared to my other ones. So, I'm going to be pretty excited to clean that up. I'm doing that first thing tomorrow. Unless I go see my grandfather. I might do both. I should have time to do both. Hopefully. We'll see how it plays out. But alright guys, thanks for watching. It's been a beautiful day. Success, failure, I don't know, you guys decide. You guys didn't get to see everything because I cut out a lot of the parts of... I didn't film a lot of the parts that were real bad. But, I mean, besides getting a hair trim on my arm, I'm alright. Most of my stuff's alright. The only thing I'm going to have to concern myself with is possibly refactorizing the foundry. But have a good night. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.